On a November day, President John F. Kennedy was visiting Dallas when three, or maybe four, shots rang out, killing the president. We all know the story and surrounding conspiracies, but visiting the site of the assassination puts things in a different perspective. And you can't help but ask yourself, the sixth floor of the book depository or the fabled grassy knoll? Which would be a better sniper's nest? I visited the site of the assassination, and the first thing that struck me was how close everything was together. I always pictured the grassy knoll as something far off in the distance, but it is practically right on top of everything else. For example, the famous Zapruder film that's been closely examined frame by frame, there's a picture taken of the reverse angle where you can just make out Zapruder's grainy figure, and in the background you can see part of the fence that lines the top of the grassy knoll. Everything is clearly marked on the site, with maps and large white X's showing the locations of the car when Kennedy was shot. The grassy knoll is even identified on these maps at the location. At the time of the shooting, many eyewitnesses thought a shot or shots came from behind the fence on top of the knoll, and immediately following, several people ran up the hill to find this supposed assailant, only to discover some cigarette butts and footprints. There is a train yard and tracks at the top of the hill, so it is theoretically possible that someone could have immediately slipped away, though they would have had to have grabbed their rifle and any spent casings before they ran. I did not see any indication on the site or at the museum indicating exactly where these footprints or butts were found. So if you're looking for a shooting location, it could presumably be almost anywhere along the fence. Though I imagine too close to Zapruder and the rest of the crowd would have been more noticeable and would lessen the chance of escape. But even from several different points along the fence line, this seems like a very makeable shot. Compare this to the official location, the corner window on the sixth floor of the book depository. The actual window is blocked off in plexiglass with a recreation of how Oswald stacked boxes to help hide his activity in the corner from any other employees. While I cannot provide a view from the actual window, the one immediately next to it gives an approximation of the angle and distance Oswald would have had. You cannot see the X for the first shot as the trees have grown over the years, but you can still clearly see the second. Reports indicate the car was driving about 5 miles per hour when the shots were fired. After seeing the grassy knoll, I thought the location on the sixth floor would be much worse, but in reality, it does provide a good angle as they are driving away, and even without the magnification of a scope, does not seem like it would be a bad shot either. In fact, either location seems like it would be a fitting spot to carry out the assassination. If it's Lee Harvey Oswald, the book depository obviously makes sense. He worked there, could come and go as he pleased, and could certainly use some free time to arrange his location and prepare in secret. But there are certainly questions that are raised. Did he really think he would get away? Why leave behind the rifle that ties the crime back to him? And why didn't he take a shot as the car approached the book depository instead of as the car drove away? On the other hand, how quickly could a shooter from the grassy knoll realistically get away? Members of the crowd were right next to the fence and could have been there within seconds of any shooting. Plus, what if someone had wanted to see the president drive by from this same spot? It's not exactly secluded. Both locations have merit, but both also have drawbacks as well. Which location do you think provides the better vantage point? The rest of the museum is relatively short, but interesting. I was surprised how much information it gave to the theory of the grassy knoll and even potential motivations for others that could have been behind the assassination. There is plenty of evidence and eyewitness reports showcased both for and against shots from the grassy knoll, as well as reactions to the event, some of which could have been taken directly out of a politician or media talking point today.
$12.78. The life of the President of the United States apparently was brought.
I was also unaware that the audio experts determined that there was a shot fired from the grassy knoll with a 95% certainty after audio testing was done and shots rang out in the streets of Dallas once again. However, they also concluded that shot missed, and the shots that hit Kennedy were fired from Oswald in the book depository. At the end of the museum, I visited the gift shop and saw the most crass, cynical bit of merchandising I have ever seen at a museum. A bag with the front of the book depository building on it, with the corner window on the 6th floor open. Certainly a tasteless way to profit off the death of a president. So naturally I bought one, and a pin too. Anyways, that's all for today. This is a bit of a departure from my normal videos on the channel, and I did my best impression of a true crime voice to add to the atmosphere. Let me know what you think, and if you'd like to see similar videos like this on the channel. I'm not sure the next time I will be at the location of a famous shooting, but it may be fun to do again. If you are new here, please check out some of the other content. Like this video, and don't forget to subscribe. It will really help me out. Thanks for watching.